to my YouTube channel. We are going to be starting the series on .NET programming, specifically VB.NET, and we are going to be using Visual Studio 2019, and we are going to start with basic concepts and then some advanced topics in VB.NET. So let's get started. An event is basically an action which you can use to respond to or handle in a code. For example, if an action is performed, then how to respond to that action. For that we make GElement. For example, the events can be user actions, or it can be raised by system. For example, if a button is clicked, now what should be done when a button is clicked? So an event will be the event raised is button click, and what action would be performed, we are going to handle that. So when we are creating custom events, it's very easy. We have a few steps that we have to follow. The first step is declaring an event. The next step is raising an event, and the last step, which is also very important, is handling an event. So it is a three-step process. And in first step, we are going to, this line is used to create an event. This one would be used to raise an event, and finally the last one would be used to handle the created. This is the practical example of how we can create, then raise, and finally handle the event. This is line public event my event. This basically is used to create an event. Public is the keyword, event is the again a keyword to create an event. My event is the name of the event I'm creating, and it's somewhat looks like a function or a subroutine. And if you want to pass parameters, you can write them here. If you don't want to pass any parameter, you can leave this bracket empty. Second step is raising an event, and for that we use this raise event keyword or built-in function, and after that I'll give my event. See the name of my event, whatever name you have given you can give here, and then I'm going to pass a parameter, I or whatever parameter you have. And if the your event is not accepting any parameter, you can give it blank. Finally, I'm going to create an event handler, and it's same like the events when a button is clicked. For example, when a button is clicked, you see this private sub button 1 click handles button 1 dot click. Right, this is made by default when I click a button. So right here the event handler comes here, public sub event hand. This is the name I have given it. You can give it any name. Then okay, I by val name as integer, so it should have the same number of parameters as this event. Okay, if your event is empty, not accepting any values, then this event handler should not accept any value. Then we have handles, me.myEvent, like it has button1.click. Here me means the current form, me.myEvent. What is this my event? This is the name of the event. If the name of your event is event1, you will give here me.event1. Okay, and event handler name is also important. Then we are going to end sub. It's basically a subroutine, and here we will give any code that we want to handle and we want to call and so on. So here I'm going to simply tell you about actually creating things. Here I have created basically I'm going to create in view. I will open the toolbox, and from the toolbox I will insert a label. Label is basically anything you want to display on the form, label, and I am going to change the value of text on this label. Here in the properties I will type in text progress. Okay, so progress is displayed here. Then I am going to again open my toolbox, and I am going to insert a progress bar. So what we are doing, just a second, progress bar. Here comes the progress bar. If you remember what is a progress bar, usually when we download a file or a software from the internet, it shows us the progress bar. So this is a progress bar created, and its name is progress bar 1. Right here, progress bar 1. So I am going to open the code view. How you open the code view? Just double click the form. You will see here the code. This is form load event. This is button click event. Right after this public class form1, I am going to be creating my event. So the first step creating this form, I'm just going to double click this, and one by one we are going to copy our code. First of all, we will create the event, and right after this public class form 1, we are going to paste our code, and the first line is to create an event, and I am coming here. This I have created an event, okay, public event, my event, and this bracket shows that if you only give byte val num as integer, it will create the variable num as integer. Here we are creating an array of values, so we will give a bracket. Now we are going to raise the event, and it's a very good practice to always raise an event inside a subroutine, so that whenever we call this subroutine, the event would be raised. So what we are going to do is, when we click this button 1, this progress bar will go from 0 to 100. So for that purpose, we have created a for loop from 0 to 100. Next means go to the next iteration, and inside this loop we are going to raise the event and pass the parameter I, that is 0. When you raise the event, it will come here to my events, check this, and we'll try to find the event handler related to this. Now because we haven't given the event handler, I'm now going to give the event handler, okay, and sub, right? Here we have created an event handler, and the name of this event handler is event hand. It has the same number and type of parameters as this event right here. Handles me.myEvent. Handles you always give, see, this is form load event, you have to give handles. Right here you will give handles. Me means this current form dot my event, which event you have to handle, this event handler would handle. Now here inside this we would give the minimum value progress bar 1, okay, dot, we will specify minimum and maximum value of this progress bar, just to be sure that our values do not exceed that particular. Now what is this progress bar 1? This is the progress bar 1, that is we have created right here. The name of this progress bar is you can see right here, progress bar 1, right? So I'm going to give specify maximum and minimum values, and then I'm going to write progress bar 1 dot value is equal to num. Why I am giving this thing? I am first specifying the minimum range of the progress bar, the maximum range, and then the value to be shown on the progress bar, that would be num, that is this one. So when I is equal to 0, the event is raised and it comes here, assign the value 0 to the progress bar, then next time assign values 1 to the progress bar, then 2, 3, 4 up till 100. Now this is what we have done inside the event handler. You can write any code you want. And finally we have to call this subroutine count, because raise event is given inside the subroutine. So I want that when I double click the mouse, this whole event, custom event, is raised. So I will write the code of I will call the function subroutine count from here inside the button click event. So when the button is clicked, count would be called. Count is right here. Inside count we have raised the event. This is our event. This is the event handler, which is displaying the value. This first time it's 0, 1, 2 up till 100, and when this loop ends, our event also ends. So let's see what happens. Build the solution, and then I'm going to debug it, start debugging. As soon as I click the button, the bar will go from 0 till up to 100. Button 1, see, 0 up till 100. Why it's happening? Because inside button 1, click of button 1, I have called the function count. Inside the count, I have raised the event, which is displaying the value 0 to 100 right here. Button, it is going from 0 to 100. That's why I gave here minimum, maximum, so that it is also, it knows that how it will treat the whole progress bar of a timer, and we will handle a certain event. In this example, we are going to insert a timer on our form, a button, and two labels, basically one label which will show the value of timer from 1 to so on, and the event would be raised when First of all, when the user clicks the button, the timer would start, and as soon as the timer reaches 50, this is the event that we have created, the event of timer reaching 50, a message box would display saying the timer has expired. I've copy paste all the code one by one. I'm going to take the code to our file. This is the what do you say, the timer event. This time I have made it private, so it's up to you. Okay, the timer, our event will take two values, string, this is the string that is we want to display the timer has expired, and this I is the value of the timer, 1 2 3 4 up till 50. Now here, this is the event handler. Here we have use many options. If you go here, first of all, what we are going to do on form load, we are going to initialize the value of table label 1 text is equal to 1. Why? Because initially we want it to be 1, and then basically it will go on incrementing right here. We will increase the value by 1 2 3 4, so that as soon as the timer takes from 1 2 3 4 and so on, the value goes here, and this is the main event, the timer tick. So I will explain you one by one as soon as I'm taking this code. I have created this, let's see here, right here. Let's start from here. This is the timer, and where it comes from, again, view, toolbox, and from here we are going to insert a timer. Okay, just drag and drop here. The name of my timer is, when I click this, it comes here, timer 1. Okay, so I have again made this button. On click of this button, the timer would be started. So let's see, button 1 dot click, timer 1 dot start. Now what is timer 1? This is the name of this timer, timer 1 dot start. So when the button is clicked, the timer is started. Okay, then what happens when the timer is started? We will double click this timer 1. It means that timer 1 dot tick. On each tick, what should happen? So first of all, by clicking the button, we have started the timer, and then we are going to handle that on every tick what should happen. This label 1 dot text is equal to label 1 dot text plus 1. What we are going to do, on each tick we are going to display the value of timer in the label. This is label 2. We are not using it, but we have created label 1, so we will display value of on every tick we will display the value inside the label. That's why here on form load I set its value to 1, so that when the form is loaded, the value is 1, and every time the clock ticks, the value increases by 1, and so on. Then I is equal to label 1 dot text, and then I am going to passing this value when the first timer ticks for the first time. I is equal to 1. See, I is equal to 1, and now I am going to call my event. Basically, I am going to raise the event, time expired. The first value is the string, and the second value is the tick of the timer. Now let's go to raise event. Here inside here I have given time expired. This is our event. First is the string, second is the value of the timer, and there is our what do you say, the event handler. The event handler is again accepting the string and value I. First of all, it will check if the value of I is 50. If the value of I is 50, stop the timer, because what I told you, that when the timer reaches 50, it will show the message timer expired. So if the timer equal to 50, it will show status. What the status is? Status as string, which we pass from where? Here, from the timer event. Here we pass timer expired, this string, and this is going to time expired. Right here, time expired. First is timer expired, second is value of I. Initially it is 1. It is coming here, condition is not true. Again, on the next tick, it comes here. First the value was 1, now the value is 2. I is equal to 2. Text is equal to time expired. I is equal to 2. Come here, handle the event. Here is the string, I is equal to 2. Condition is again false. Okay, come back again. Next tick. Show in the label box the timer value. Go on running until our timer values reaches 50. As soon as this tick reaches 50, label will show 50, and we will call this raise our event. We will come here, event handler string and value of I is 50. Now our condition is if I is equal to 50, then we will stop the timer, right? Then message box will display the status. Now here the status was timer expired, so it will be displayed. Now let's run our example. On button click, we will start the timer, and the timer value is displaying over here. And as soon as it reaches 50, see, timer expired. Okay, I will run this for you again. As soon as we will click the timer button, our timer will start, and on every tick our event will be raised, and in our event it will check for conditions and so on. See, button 1, as soon as it reaches 50, our message box will display.